Well, welcome back to a not so sunny LA. If you missed my video last week, I'm out here in California to sadly part ways with the Porsche Boxster I bought out in America last summer. During my epic cross-country road trip in that car where I drove from New York to LA, some of you will know that I actually had an issue with the alternator on the Boxster, got stuck in Denver for 24 hours whilst the issue was fixed. Because of that delay, I had to make some cancellations for the rest of the road trip, and one of those cancellations was an epic Airbnb I'd booked myself in the desert near Joshua Tree. That property had a no cancellation policy. I'd already paid in full, but luckily the hosts were kind of understanding and they said they'd keep my payment on file with the hope that I could come back in 2025. So that's what I thought I'd do today. But I've already told you I'm selling the Boxster, and I'm doing so via the Broad Arrow air water auction. I thought it was a bit silly to probably take the Boxster back out to the desert where I risked stone chipping the paint, getting a puncture, I don't know what, putting the car under any kind of stress. So I started to consider what would the next best option be. And while you already know from the title of this video and from seeing what I'm sitting in, I decided the next best option would be a Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. So yes, hello one and all, welcome to Seeing Through Glass. Welcome to my video of taking the off-roading Lambo into the Californian desert. So for my non-US viewers, Joshua Tree is a big national park. It's about 170 miles from LA, I suppose. Straddles both the Colorado Desert and the Mojave Desert. Think of a huge, open, vast space full of rock formations, Joshua trees. I think a lot of people go there to kind of escape. There's not a lot of phone signal, a lot of remote Airbnbs and hotels, things like that, cutesy villages. I think people just want to kind of go there to unwind. It's appeared in a lot of films and TV shows, things like that. You'll probably recognize it when I actually get there. On a good day, it's probably 2.5 hours from LA, but LA famously has a lot of traffic, and my ETA today is 4 hours. It's not ideal in a Lamborghini Huracan, so why am I taking this car? Well, firstly, the Airbnb I'm staying at tonight has a 2.5 mile dirt track leading to it, so I needed something which had a little bit of loose surface off-road capabilities, but also a lot of Joshua Tree on that whole area is untarmacked, so again, want something that I knew I could kind of enjoy off-road. But finally, when I drove this Huracan Sterrato at its kind of launch event, I thought it was the most well-rounded Huracan. I thought it was the best version because this kind of increased ride height just makes it a little bit more usable even out here on the road, especially LA roads, which are pretty dodgy. And let's not forget, the Huracan is basically dead now. The Temerario, its replacement, is around the corner. I got to see that thing a few weeks ago, and so it's kind of like a last hurrah for me to say goodbye to what has been an iconic car for Lamborghini, and goodbye to this iconic V10 engine. So yeah, we're just going to have some fun, explore an amazing part of California, and enjoy what I think was, yeah, the best Huracan and a special Lambo, but I've got to survive the journey there first. My back is already a little bit sore. I'd forgotten how clunky some of this infotainment system is. My knee is banging against the central dash. I'm like, ooh. It is the best Huracan, but it's still a little flawed for someone like me, 6'2", and used to the comfort and practicality of a Porsche. Anyway, let's not be knocking it. I'm in a bloody Lambo, so head down and enjoy this 20 miles an hour. Shut off engine and check oil level. I have genuinely just got an engine warning light. Right, in a truly Lamborghini way, to top up the oil in your Huracan Sterrato, which is a hard to find OW30, you need an Allen key, which I've luckily just found in the boot. You need to take off all of these little attachments here and remove this plastic cover. I mean, this really shouldn't be as difficult as it is turning out to be. Also, not to absolutely call Lamborghini USA out, but it feels like this should be something that was done probably before I collected the press car, but anyway. One more to go, 2 more to go. The glamorous life of being a Lamborghini owner, hey? Ha ha ha! Oil. Cha-ching. Oh, with said dipstick. That's quite old school. Okay. I'm assuming it needs a litre. That's what the GT3 takes, so we're just going to roll with it. I mean, honestly. Oh, I can't even get the lid off the oil. Yeah, just, there we go. Okay. Don't mind me. I think now ready for an adventure into the desert, I hope. I've missed road tripping in America. Okay, this is a very short road trip compared to what I did last summer, but driving anywhere in this country is always, I think, so jaw-dropping. I've crossed the other side of the canyons now from LA, and yeah, there's this sort of vast expanse of flat desert with then canyons or mountains in the distance. A lot of sort of weird, quirky stuff which you do find when driving through America. You know, old scrap yards and dinosaurs made out of metal and quirky looking motels and things like that, but it's all good fun. I was about to say, kind of escape the traffic, but no, in the middle of nowhere I've just hit another queue of traffic, and because of that I do think I'm going to be arriving at the Airbnb in the dark, which is not ideal, but I'm staying there for 2 nights, so if I do that, arrive there in the dark tonight, I'll be able to show you properly tomorrow. But yeah, there you go, just there I've got like a Freddy Krueger-esque mannequin. What is going on there? It is borderline a bit scary and then also a bit kitsch. I can never quite decide whether it's like kitsch and artistic or just a bit terrifying. But yeah, still got a couple of hours to go till we actually arrive. And yeah, just got to plod along. Update on the Sterrato, all good. No more oil warning messages. My bum is a little bit numb, but actually surprisingly good cruiser, this thing. If you leave it in Strada and Auto, it's pretty quiet. The revs are super low, even when you're going 70, 75 miles an hour. And fuel economy is pretty good as well. I've got still pretty much a full tank and it's reading 300 odd mile range. So yeah, actually quite a good road trip mobile so far, even if just in traffic and on boring highways. This is going to have been worth the effort. In fact, that drive up here just now, even though it was in the dark, has been worth it. That Sterrato, I'd forgotten how much fun it is. But it's 9 p.m. It has been a long day. So I'm going to get some sleep, and then hopefully we're going to have an epic sunrise here in the middle of the desert. And I'll show you around this place and explain a little bit more in the morning. Well, good morning. What an amazing night in the desert. I've got to be honest, initially I was a little bit scared. Very dark when I arrived here last night. And it was so hard to tell exactly where I was. Obviously I've seen pictures of this place, but yeah, I took a little lantern out, did some exploring, and then got a bit scared and came running back into here. But this place is called, I believe, Sueno Sagrado. I doubt I've pronounced that correctly, but I was inspired to book this place by one of my favourite YouTube channels, Cara and Nate. I've mentioned them before. They do a lot of exploring around the world, but especially when they're in America, they seem to find these super cool, remote, Airbnbs or, you know, stays, and I've always thought I'd love to do that. And this place looked good online, and it has 100% lived up to my hopes and expectations. This is the kind of main building you find me in. There are a few outbuildings as well. Got a kitchen in here, lovely fireplace, a bed. Everything is just very stylistic. I actually feel like it's a little bit too cool for me. So a lot of thought for everything, and I just feel like I'm living in some kind of Instagram photo shoot. I actually need to take a few more photos, but I keep getting distracted by the Lamborghini outside. I cannot tell you, waking up this morning, looking out the window, seeing this desert oasis, and then a Lamborghini parked on the driveway. I just think that Sterrato is so undeniably cool. Don't get me wrong, I love a 911 Dakar, but I think 911s can take you most places. I don't feel like the Dakar necessarily unlocks a sort of side to a 911 that you can't usually access, but to bring a Lamborghini down the roads I did yesterday and then dump it here in the middle of nowhere, it's so freaking cool. But anyway, got some exciting plans for today with that car. Let me show you around this place a little bit more before we head off. But yeah, oh, I want to come back here. I can tell you that straight away. Firstly, quick shout out, by the way, to Motoring Coffee. I stopped at this place on the way out of town yesterday. They ground up some beans and that stuff has been amazing. It's about my 4th cup this morning. I've been having sort of moments, whether it was in the bed, gazing out the windows, I climbed up to the rocks out the back, and each time I took a sort of fresh cup of coffee. But yeah, just to show you around this actual main room building, as I say, it's also aesthetically pleasing. Big old Harman Kardon speaker there, by the way. I've been blasting the tunes because you are so remote. Let me just show you out the front, the outrageous views of, yes, opening the door to a Lamborghini. I mean, just look at that scene. It is so freaking cool, but cactuses everywhere, endless places to sit and hang out. There you go, there's another one of my coffee mugs from this morning. I need to actually tidy that up. But yeah, endless places, hammocks as well. I'm not very good in hammocks. I start to feel a bit seasick, but just so many ways to enjoy these views and that car. But anyway, let's actually head round the back, I think, past the slightly creepy Wurlitzer piano. I'm not the best pianist in the world, but a bit of Muse. Oh, no. I've forgotten how to play Muse. Okay, let's move on and show you, yes, out here, because the property does continue kind of for miles. Got these big rocks up here, but some additional buildings. So if I come round the side, this actually has 2 more bedrooms in it, so you could fit a whole group out here. I think they say you can have 8 people maybe, or maybe more. A little barbecue area. I'm not the greatest barbecuer, so I feel like I'd probably just set fire to myself or the desert if I attempted that, but maybe we'll give it a go. Yeah, big old dining table, and actually this here is called the pass-through kitchen, I think. That sort of opens up, and there's a whole wash basin in there. You can prepare drinks, there's a fridge. So I guess if you're having a bit of a party, you can be in there. Let me quickly show you in here. It's quite cozy in here. This, I guess, would be for the kids or for very close friends. You've got one bed around that side, and then literally exactly the same round this side. Very nice. And if I come back out here, we'll head up into the rocks for what I think is the piece de la resistance of this property. So much fun. I definitely just ate a bee. So if we come up here, these are the rocks that I climbed up this morning with my coffee, but check this out. This has to be the piece de la resistance of this property. This huge deck and pool with that view. I mean, is that not unbelievable? This is what kind of sucked me into booking this place. But listen to how quiet it is. Okay, there's an annoying pool cleaning machine on the go, but it is silent. I actually feel a little bit bad about how hard I drove the Sterrato up that dirt track last night, because it must have really shattered a lot of people's peaceful calm. But yeah, I mean, I think I might actually get in this pool today. It is so amazing. This huge scenery surrounding. I'm so glad I made the effort to come and visit this place, because I was gutted when I cancelled it last year, but I didn't realise it was this spectacular. I'm just kind of sad that my wife and daughter aren't here, because I think they would absolutely love it. So maybe I need to come back at some point and even stay for longer. It's the kind of place you want to come either with your family or with friends and just stay for like a really long weekend and just, yeah, leave your phones at home, I guess, and just be completely cut off. As much as I don't want to leave, I should, because yes, I've come here with that Sterrato and I feel like I need to go and explore some roads, some dirt tracks, have a bit of fun in this area. But yeah, what a place to wake up. Now, as exciting as the drive was up here last night, it was quite sketchy in parts. There are some elements of this road that are fairly extreme. I'm actually quite amazed that the Sterrato traversed it all, because it's obviously lifted, this car, but it doesn't look like it should be able to get across some of the big divots that it did. So let's see if I can do it again. Now, in the daylight, I'm hoping it'll be easier. But look at this section here, for example. I've got to pick my route. I feel like a true overlander right now. Look at the surfaces ahead, work out the best way to get across in, yes, my Lamborghini. It's just so wild, this thing. Anyway, I'm headed off to Pioneertown. Coming out to the desert, I thought I wanted to engage a bit of old school Western American culture, or Western culture, I don't even know what to call it. But this is supposedly a town which is either stylized or was actually made back in the 1880s. It's used for a lot of film shoots, for Western films and things like that, but apparently when it's not being used for film shoots, it's got shops and restaurants and things that you can kind of go and engage with. So as long as I can get back out of here, which, yeah, the Sterrato is handling like a boss, we'll be off to Pioneertown. Now, this is the scary one, I've just remembered. This does not look like something a Lamborghini should be able to survive, but just look at that. What a win. I love this car. I love this car. How is this a thing? I don't even know. What an absolute machine.
Left the big city for the simple country life. Found myself a woman that it took for me to be my wife. I was working on the ground come the sun up to sundown. Yeah, I'm trying to make a reputation for a man inside this town. Hard as I try, maybe I just can't. I ain't no up and kind of leaving name. She kissed me one time and she took my heart. Maybe
I think I might have spent a little bit too much time in the Red Dog Saloon. I feel like I might have become a Red Dog myself. They had all the chips and queso, chips and guac, chips and salsa. I just kept eating while sitting in the sun and My forehead is kind of glowing like a traffic light. I do worry that I've cooked my brain so much that I don't actually know the words coming out of my mouth. You know, being a Brit in the desert, I got carried away, so this is going to take a while to heal. But anyway, I've now left Pioneertown and I'm heading back towards the Airbnb. I'm sort of tempted to just head off into these mountains. This car is so fun and so strangely capable. I kind of just want to go exploring. I will continue to say that this is a more exciting and exhilarating option than the 911 Dakar. It might not be quite as capable technically, potentially, but as a thing to have fun in, oh, this thing is so good. And I actually saw a few of them in and around LA, which made sense. But out here in the desert, it is just sport mode, maybe not rally mode, manual on the gears. I think let's keep having fun before I have to return back to LA. Red Dogs, here we go! Well, good morning. It's the next day. I had another epic night at Sueno Sagrado, that incredible Airbnb, beautiful sunset, nice little dinner, and then passed out cold. And I've woken up early because I'm now heading back towards LA, but I'm not quite done with the Sterrato just yet. It's Friday morning, which means the Good Vibes Breakfast Club is going down. If you don't know about Good Vibes, it happens at the top of the Angeles Crest Highway. It's a really informal but often very awesome, I was going to say cars and coffee, but there's no coffee. I guess you have to take your own coffee. It takes place at what used to be Newcomb's Ranch, a really cool diner, Angeles Crest, but that place closed down, so now people just gather in the car park. I've been quite a few times before and vlogged it quite a few times before. The roads up there are amazing, the views are incredible. There's probably some loose surfaces to play around on. I just thought it'd be good to go and check it out before I have to drop this thing back with Lamborghini in Beverly Hills. I do have like a 3-hour drive to get there though, so I'm in Strada, gonna get my music on, cruise, enjoy these incredible desert views. I feel quite sad to be leaving them now, but it's just encouraging me to do more and more US adventures in the future. So yeah, anyway, let's crack on, and I guess you'll join me next, Angeles Crest. Well, a very good morning up here at Good Vibes. I did arrive slightly late, so the crowd had thinned out a bit, but some epic cars, and boy did the Sterrato get a lot of attention. People agreed with me that this is really the ultimate LA car given the roads that Los Angeles has, but then also because you can head up here to the hills, to the canyons, the mountains, and just engage in all the road types, whether it's the really good tarmac stuff or some of the loose surface stuff. It is just so good. And actually, let's just revisit a point I made when I started this whole video, which is I do just think this is the ultimate Huracan and such a good send-off to this V10. I loved the STO variant of the Huracan when I drove it as a sort of flat-out racer. That thing is mega. But I've done God knows how many miles in this thing over the last couple of days on all different surfaces. Coming up here this morning, really pushing on some of these amazing roads, and it still delivers. Yes, you have to bear in mind that you've got those chunky tyres, the increased ride height. It's not going to be completely as dialed in, but my God, is it still really fast. It's it's kind of funny because, of course, this V10 engine is kind of old school now in terms of a supercar powertrain. Everything's turbocharged or hybridized, and actually at times it doesn't feel slow, but you're just sort of like, sorry, one of my GoPros just fell off. You're sort of waiting for the kick or the push. You have to remember or remind yourself that actually what you need to do is let the whole thing rev out. But it's so good and fun to drive, and it sounds spectacular. I'm sure this Temerario is going to be really good, but it's not going to sound like this. Just these downshifts. What a car. I'm so glad I've had a chance to revisit this thing, because yeah, my initial experience in Italy was short. This has been a proper chance to get to know and understand this car, and I would have one. I would definitely have one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. A bit of a travel vlog, but a really good one, fun, but a great one from my side. I'll see you next week.